Ellis Cinema back, another dish. How we doing out there? Good, great, grand, and wonderful. As you see on your dial, A Ghost Waits. This is actually going to be part one of my Evenings Waiting for Ghosts series. I'm sure that probably could use a little work, but I'm trash, and I don't have time. So Evenings Waiting for Ghosts series is how we're going to do this. So A Ghost Waits, starring MacLeod Andrews, Natalie Walker, Sydney Vollmer, Amanda Miller, and written and directed by Adam Stovall. Holy cow. Actually, I was talking to my guest before we rolled the mic. I watched it for my third time. Literally just got over. Couldn't have been 10 minutes ago. I am a fucking wreck. I am an emotional wreck. I shouldn't even be doing the show right now. But I don't postpone or anything like that. I was just like, oh man, you want to know what sounds awful to do right now? Talking and being entertaining. Because all I wanted to do was implode and think about how, the movie speaks to me. So what is A Ghost Waits? Jack's job is to fix up rental properties to make way for new tenants. But one property keeps winding up empty. Tasked with discovering why and fixing the issue, Jack meets Muriel, a ghost. Muriel's job is to haunt the home and keep it vacant. They should be enemies, but they find they have a great deal in common. Pulse notwithstanding. I was going to cut that out, even though it is on the website itself, just because I don't like giving away too much. Anyway, A Ghost Waits was released or is going to be released on Arrow Video on May 4th for the physical copy. If you have the Arrow player, A Ghost Waits is actually streaming now. And I know most of the audience knows that if I could not do this show, I would not, unless there are pieces that come along that I find worth talking about. And you know that if we're on the mic here and this is going to be a series, well, you know that I thought very highly of it. And, most of you kind of that listen, you use my suggestions as what to watch, and some of you use it as a guide to stay clear of, and that's kind of rude, but all right, whatever. One of my favorite films of the year, though, and I'm not kidding, this is a year filled with Judas and the Black Messiah, Minari, what is that documentary I just watched, My Octopus Teacher, we're already, every year they say that movies are getting shitty, and every year I just sit there and laugh and I go, I saw 50 fucking movies that were great this year. And actually, we're only into April. I understand that. I don't see A Ghost Waits really getting pushed out of the slot that it's in. I really don't. Like, how could I even compare Judas and the Black Messiah to A Ghost Waits? Well, think of, like weight classes for fighters, right? If Judas and the Black Messiah was a heavyweight, I would consider A Ghost Waits, a flyweight, a lightweight. Have you seen some of the shit that those dudes do, that those women do? Like, they're no slouches themselves. So, and I'm just so happy that this is finding an audience the way that it is in very short time. So, today is part one of my Evenings Waiting for Ghosts series. Part one features a man of many talents and a man who wore many hats on this production, actually. And I mean this. There's going to be a lot of smoke blowing throughout this, but I mean this. I hope he gets his time to shine, because I thought the spectrum as an actor that he covered in this film, it's world-class acting. It's simple as that. So, starring as Jack, the handyman. We are handymen, Earl. We are handymen. MacLeod Andrews joining Ellis Cinema Podcast for the first time. Sir, thank you.
Hello, what an introduction. Oh my goodness.
Well, to be fair, I put in a few things here and there. That way, as these tears continue to fall down my face, I can just kind of follow the prompter and not.
I'm sorry for doing that to you.
It is you. It is you too. It is you and Muriel that like the conversations that happen towards the end. I'm shocked, sir, that this is getting buzz, but like it needs to have even more, which is why I'm telling everybody. I was telling Adam, I'm already doing God's work. Like, I think I got anywhere over 10 to 12 pre-orders already, and the shows don't even exist on the platform yet. I just said you need to pre-order a Ghost Waits. Thank me later. Period.
Well, thank you for spreading the word. That's much appreciated. I mean, the greatest gift when you make a film of this size with a good friend is just that anybody is watching it at all. So,
well, I tell you what, to get Arrow right out of the gate, I mean, that's no slouch, sir. Like, I would put Arrow and MVD and Shout Factory, like, those are my favorites. Those are my go-tos.
I mean, no, we're astounded by our good luck. I mean, we had resigned ourselves to just accepting that the work was the reward in itself, and we learned a lot, and we grew our relationship as in the process of making this film, and we're really proud of it. But we're just going to have to self-distribute it, and the fact that Arrow is the one who said, no, we're gonna pick you up and carry you. I mean, I don't know what the word is. Grateful doesn't begin to capture it. You know, astounded. We're just counting our lucky stars. It's a dream come true. All the cliche things you can say about we're Cinderella. You know, we're Cinderella, and Arrow came by with a glass slipper. Well,
let's stick with the Cinderella. You're Cinderella man. You may be, everyone's counting you down, but you're going to get back up punching. And I think this is one of those ones that is going to stand the test of time. And, you know, whether it be, you know, music and love are so universal, or the performances, like, good Lord. So hold on a second. Hold on. Let's back up a little bit here. So you're in sunny Los Angeles, yeah?
Yeah.
How is that pandemic treating you out there, my friend? Is it wearing on you, or are you one of the people that's like, hey, man, I have been thriving?
Thriving's definitely not the right word. That said, I have been able to work from home because I do a lot of voiceover stuff, and so I'm really fortunate in that I've been able to keep working. And I recently had a daughter, so she's only 1 year old. So she doesn't need to meet anybody really. So just hanging out with the family isn't hurting her at all. It's probably only helping. So in some ways it's been really nice to just nest and be with family and be with my daughter and work from home. It certainly allowed me to buy a bunch of gear and upgrade my setup. I miss people. I'm ready for it to be done. I miss going to grocery stores. I get my second dose of the vax in like a week and a half, and
same here. The 11th. The 11th, I get my
nice.
Second. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I can't wait to just be able to see friends again.
So two things. Congratulations on being a dad. Congrats, my friend. And thing number two, working from home, you may have delivered one of my favorite performances in Red Dead Redemption 2, which was local pedestrian population. So
we're really carrying a lot of weight there. People don't realize how much water we're carrying. But a friend, it's funny you mentioned that. A good friend of mine was playing, and I've done voiceover stuff for him for fun before, and he was just playing Red Dead Redemption, didn't have any idea I was in it, and all of a sudden he went to some small town and heard this guy go, "Get away from me, leave me be." and he kept on, like, I guess he decided to be a black hat, and he was just kept needling my guy's character and going like, I didn't ask for a shadow, pal, and stuff like that. And he was like, "This is MacLeod. This has to be MacLeod. I'd know that voice anywhere." And he recorded it and sent it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, you found me in that massive game. You found me."
And it is a massive game. I have played through Red Dead Redemption twice now, and it's just, you know, the first time you kind of breeze through it, the second time you just, hour after hour, you lose. It's absurd.
Well, see, that's the thing. I can't breeze through those games. I'm like a hoarder. And so when I get an open map game and I see all those little icons, I gotta clear them. I can't. I'm pathological. I gotta find all the treasure.
Yep.
Yep.
Definitely.
I can't. And to the point where I usually get about 60% of the way into a game, and then I just have to quit because life needs to continue.
Right. Oh, shit, I have a daughter now. She's hanging from the ceiling fan as I'm listening to myself in the local population.
That's right.
just checking to make sure that I do it.
Right. That's really all I'm doing. Just navel gazing.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, I just do my show so I can listen to myself. I just get done with the show and then I just hit play and I'm just like, oh man, you sound really good. You know
what though? You do sound really good.
Oh, I appreciate that, man.
You were doing your intro and I just sat back and I was like, hey, yeah, this is going to be the easiest interview ever. I'm just going to listen and enjoy myself. Yeah. This guy's killing it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Do you know do you know Justin Benson, Aaron Moorhead? You know those filmmakers?
I do.
They have signed me on to be a hype man for any project that they. That's a lie. But they did mention that. They were just like, Jesus, if we ever need a hype man, you are it, sir. And I didn't know how to feel about that. I just picture like a rap concert where you're not the actual act. You're not the Jay-Z rapping. You're his friend that just keeps saying yeah between the beats. I don't want that job. I value myself a little more than that, you know. So anyway.
You could think of it like a stand-up set. Every good comedian has a warm-up guy who comes in and gets everybody laughing, and they're usually funnier than the main event. But they get everybody in a good mood, and then they're like, all right, put your hands together.
Oh, for this guy who's not as funny.
For this guy who's letting me down.
Right. This guy's doing 10 minutes of Annie Mass jokes. I am out of here. So a Ghost Waits. Let's just, you know what? I got you for a little bit here. Actor, MacLeod Andrews. What was the thing that you said, hey, you know what? I want to act for a living. I want to make a go at acting sounds too specific, too centralized. I want to entertain people for a living. Is there a specific moment? Is that something that you've always really wanted to do? Like you knew very young? I think I was listening to an interview with Adam, and he said he knew at 8 years old, like he just wanted to make films. Like he looks at films differently than most people. Is that the same for you? Did you fall into it? Was it something you always wanted?
I mean, I think it's been something that my entire life I've been adjacent to in some form or another and involved with in some way. My mom was, for lack of a better term, the producer of a educational children's theater in Louisville, Kentucky. So, you know, from the moment I could walk, I was being taken to see theater. And we have a great regional theater there, Actors Theater of Louisville, and they have a big festival called the Humana Festival of New American Plays, where they do kind of edgier, smaller, weirder plays. And I was seeing that stuff since I was 10. You know, I think like any... So I'd been acting or telling stories to some degree since I was a little kid, and I think like every kid, I went through a litany of things I want to be when I grow up, from a soccer player to a neurosurgeon to a Buddhist monk.
No, I get you. I was marine biologist and hockey player, and then once I was like, oh, I'm not going to be the right wing for the Detroit Red Wings. Life sucks. Get a fucking helmet. You know, that happens. It happens.
Yeah, but I mean, like, so it just kind of was always something that felt on the table to me, something that I was always drawn to and attracted to, and I've thought about it honestly. I think the reason I keep doing it is it's kind of an addiction. I'm addicted to that moment